all for 52 years, everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time. Everybody was just talking how they were the greatest team of all time. Like, they was the greatest team to ever assemble.
Michael Jordan isn't just throwing shade, he's sending a message loud and clear. He's never respected LeBron James, and he's not shy about it either. This beef runs deep. We're talking ego, legacy, and fire that's been burning for over 2 decades. Let's break down why MJ brushed off the chosen one hype, why Kobe got the mentor love LeBron never did, and what Jordan really said about LeBron and Sean that left fans in total disbelief. Jordan's entire legacy was built on domination. He didn't just beat his opponents, he broke them mentally, crushed their spirits, and smiled doing it. That killer instinct never faded. Now picture this. It's 2002, and MJ, the legend, the icon, is sitting back watching a high school kid from Akron, Ohio get crowned the chosen one.
Leroy Smith was a guy, when I got cut, he made the team, on the varsity team. But he started the whole process with me because when he made the team and I didn't, I wanted to prove not just to Leroy Smith, not just to myself, but to the coach who actually picked Leroy over me. I wanted to make sure you understood you made a mistake, dude.
Before even stepping foot in the NBA, reporters were calling LeBron the next to dethrone him. And to MJ, that wasn't a compliment. That was a declaration of war. He fought tooth and nail for his crown through blood, sweat, and 6 grueling championships. So when LeBron got the superstar label early, Jordan didn't clap. He clenched his jaw. To him, greatness isn't printed on a magazine cover. It's earned through pain and grind. If you ever doubt how personal this got, just revisit his 2009 Hall of Fame speech. MJ didn't thank people. He warned them. Every line was a reminder of who still ran the game. He wasn't celebrating. He was reclaiming his throne. Here's where it cuts even deeper. MJ was LeBron's idol. His posters covered LeBron's walls growing up, yet the two never formed a real relationship. For a player as respected as LeBron, that's wild. Most legends from different eras have that brotherhood bond. Jordan had it with Kobe, but LeBron, nothing. Cold silence. And that's no coincidence. See, the same things fans adored about LeBron, the hype, the media obsession, the chosen one nickname, were the very reasons MJ kept him at arm's length. To Jordan, those weren't signs of greatness. They were red flags. MJ saw LeBron as manufactured fame, someone being handed what he spent a lifetime fighting for. But this feud isn't just personal, it's political. It's about power, image, and control over basketball's throne. Jordan built an empire, the Air Jordan brand, the myth, the culture. Before him, Magic and Bird carried the league, but MJ exploded it into a global phenomenon. He wasn't just a player, he was the brand. His shoes, his swagger, even his Gatorade commercial had kids chanting, "Be like Mike." And when Space Jam hit, he wasn't just a baller anymore, he was a superhero. Every dunk, every finals MVP, every tear-stained trophy became part of his mythology. MJ didn't just make history, he marketed it. He wrote the playbook for celebrity dominance before social media was even born. So when the media started pushing the idea that LeBron might surpass him, MJ didn't just hear comparisons, he heard threats. Because one thing about Jordan, he's obsessed with legacy. While most players retire and fade away, he never did. Every time another athlete gets called the GOAT, you can see that flicker in his eyes, that sharp edge in his tone. He'll find a way to remind everyone. 6 rings, 6 finals, 0 losses. That's his shield, his proof, his eternal mic drop. Now imagine being MJ, watching a teenager get crowned the next him before proving a thing. He was never the type to just let that slide. He crushed anyone who even hinted at challenging his dominance. Remember when rookie Allen Iverson crossed him up and MJ dropped 55 points just to make a point? Or when he torched Clyde Drexler in the '92 finals after people dared to compare them? That's Jordan. Petty, proud, and powerful. He doesn't forgive, he dominates. And when it comes to LeBron, that competitive fire never cooled. It just got personal.
Between the two, that'd be a tough choice. But 5 beats 1.
That's the Jordan mentality. Cold, cutthroat, and calculated. To MJ, you don't breathe his air until you earn it. And even then, he'll still remind you who runs the room. He's not just guarding his legacy, he's protecting an empire. With LeBron, it wasn't even a battle on the court because their careers barely overlapped. So instead, Jordan took his fight to the media. Every time a reporter mentioned LeBron, MJ played polite, but that smile? Ice cold. He'd drop a generic compliment, then immediately shift the talk to Kobe or bring up championship rings.
That's a foul all day long.
Oh, I know you ain't talking. I know you ain't talking.
Hey, you only got 3 now. I get 6. I would get that foul. You only got 3 now.
You right, can't say none of that. Hey, Mike, you gotta shoot it quick. I'm getting to that.
No, I had you already.
Yeah, but I'm getting to that. I know where you're going. I'm getting to that.
No.
You gotta get up quick.
If you knew where I was going, why you go for the fake?
Mike, after you face the ball, where else you gonna
You
go?
left your feet.
Yeah, but where else you gonna go?
In the game, I go for you.
I spun all the way
I
around.
go for these ribs right here.
I spun all the way around and got you.
Every move was deliberate, sending one message: LeBron ain't at my table. And that's where the tension really exploded. To understand why that Chosen One Sports Illustrated cover hit MJ like a dagger, you gotta look at how different their paths were. Jordan wasn't handed greatness. He fought for it. He got cut from his high school varsity team, battled for minutes at UNC, and wasn't even picked first in the 1984 draft. He went third. His career started with doubt, pain, and pressure, not fanfare. Meanwhile, LeBron's rise was something out of a movie. ESPN highlights as a teenager, packed out high school gyms, corporate execs at his games before graduation. Then, before playing a single NBA minute, Nike dropped a $90 million deal on him. The kid was branded King James before he even earned his crown.
You have to put up with the aggravation, the late night calls, or the dumb questions.
To Jordan, that wasn't exciting. It was offensive. It felt like the world was trying to crown a new king while the old one was still sitting on his throne. And for someone as obsessed with control and dominance as MJ, that was unacceptable. He built his legacy from the dirt, no shortcuts, no handouts, and he wasn't about to let anyone, not even LeBron, rewrite that story. And even years later, MJ's competitive edge never softened. He still finds sneaky ways to throw shade. In one interview, his body language said it all. Stiff smile, blank eyes, and that tone that said, "He's good, but he ain't me." That was MJ's breaking point. To the world, that Chosen One cover was LeBron's coronation, a new era being born.
Kobe was my dear friend. He was like a little brother.
But to Jordan, it looked like a coup, a public attempt to steal his crown while he was still breathing. In MJ's eyes, there was only one man who ever truly earned the right to be called his successor. And it wasn't LeBron James, it was Kobe Bryant. If there's one thing MJ has made crystal clear over the years, it's that his real basketball little brother was never LeBron. It was Kobe. And once you understand why, everything starts to click. Personality-wise, Kobe was cut from the exact same cloth, cold, ruthless, and obsessed with victory. He didn't care about being liked, he wanted to be feared. That killer instinct, that my way or the highway energy, that refusal to lose even if it meant freezing out a teammate or taking 40 shots to get the win, that was pure Jordan. That's why MJ respected Kobe, not because he copied him, but because he understood him. They both spoke the same language, domination, and that's something LeBron could never fake, no matter how big the hype got. MJ saw himself in Kobe, a reflection of everything he stood for. Something he could never feel with LeBron, because LeBron's whole approach to the game was built different.
When you were a kid, who did you look up to?
Wow, I love Michael Jordan.
LeBron's a pass-first star, a team-minded leader who looks for the open man instead of forcing his own shot. To fans, that's smart basketball. But to MJ, that looked soft. In Jordan's world, the alpha dog doesn't share the moment, he owns it. You take the shot, live with the result, and prove you're the predator, not the prey. And then there's the grind. Kobe didn't just idolize Jordan, he studied him like a textbook. From the footwork, to the fadeaway, to the way he chewed gum and talked trash. Every detail was deliberate. Kobe didn't copy MJ, he mirrored him. There were interviews where Kobe straight up admitted he'd call MJ in the middle of the night asking about moves, spacing, mindset, everything. He wanted to learn straight from the master himself. That obsession created a bond no one else could touch. LeBron, though, he never chased that kind of mentorship. He respected Jordan, no doubt, but he walked his own path.
LeBron always moved strange, not like Kobe. And when the Diddy stuff came out, I knew I was right all along. That's why I chose to mentor Kobe, not him.
He didn't want to be the next Jordan. He wanted to be LeBron.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
That independence, that refusal to play apprentice is exactly why that deep brotherhood never formed. And don't forget the emotional side. When Kobe passed in 2020, the world saw the truth. Jordan stood there on stage, tears streaming down his face, calling Kobe his little brother. That wasn't for the cameras, that was real. Decades of mutual respect, late-night calls, and shared fire all poured out in that one moment. You could feel the pain, the love, the connection. But LeBron never had that with MJ. There's respect, sure, but it's cold, distant, almost businesslike. No mentorship, no big brother energy, no late-night advice, calls about life or legacy, just silence. And that silence speaks louder than anything either of them could ever say, because this isn't just about basketball or personality, it's about legacy. Kobe carried the torch of Jordan's mentality, that cold, ruthless, win-at-all-costs fire that burned through every opponent. LeBron, on the other hand, stood for something new: player empowerment, brotherhoods across rivals, activism, and using his voice beyond the court. All the things MJ avoided during his era to keep his image spotless. To a man obsessed with control, LeBron's brand of leadership wasn't just confusing, it was threatening. That's why even now you can feel the contrast. When Jordan speaks about Kobe, his tone softens, his eyes get glassy.
How legitimate was the hatred between those Bulls teams and those Pistons?
Oh, I hated him. And yeah, hate carries even to this day.
Pure emotion. But when LeBron's name comes up, his voice goes tight, formal, and technical. Like he's talking about a rival, not a successor. And for LeBron, who grew up idolizing MJ, that's gotta sting. Because in the NBA, no crown is heavier than Jordan's, and no blessing means more than his. That's what makes their silence so powerful. The absence of approval from the GOAT. The greats usually pass the torch. Magic embraced Kobe publicly. Kareem mentored Shaq, and Bill Russell personally handed trophies to the next generation of champions. But between MJ and LeBron, nothing. No nod, no quote, no passing of the flame. Just an empty space where respect should have lived.
All for 52 years, everything in sports is going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time. You know, everybody was just talking how they were the greatest team of all time. Like, they was the greatest team ever assembled.
Even LeBron admitted it himself. We don't talk. When a reporter asked him who he looked up to as a kid, he said, Michael Jordan. I love Michael Jordan. You could hear the emotion in his voice, that genuine admiration that never got returned. It's not like LeBron hasn't tried. He's given MJ his flowers countless times, calling him his GOAT, his inspiration, the reason he picked up a basketball. But no matter how loud the praise gets, Jordan stays quiet. And that silence cuts deeper than any insult ever could. But instead of getting that love back, LeBron spent his entire career living under the heavy shadow of Jordan's cold, brutal silence. And here's where things took a wild turn. Everything got darker once those Diddy rumors started flying. Out of nowhere, stories about LeBron's image and off-court life began flooding timelines. And suddenly, Jordan's quiet distance didn't look like indifference anymore. It looked like confirmation. Remember that viral clip? MJ saying, LeBron always moves strange, not like Kobe, before dropping that line about the Sean situation? That's when everything changed. Fans lost their minds. And before you assume this was just Twitter gossip or YouTube clickbait, let's make something clear. Michael Jordan actually said it. You've probably seen that moment. LeBron on Instagram Live with Diddy, laughing, saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." It looked innocent back then, but oh, how differently that clip aged after everything that came out. Everyone knew that ain't no party like a moment But after all the controversies surrounding Diddy's name hit the headlines, that video didn't feel funny anymore. It felt loaded. For years, wild rumors have floated around LeBron's circle. Celebrity parties, mysterious appearances, off-the-clock fun that didn't always align with his clean family man image. At first, nobody took it seriously. But then Jordan, the man who guards his image like a fortress, made that rare comment about LeBron's off-court choices, and everything shifted. When MJ talks, people listen. Suddenly, what sounded like gossip turned into a legit headline. By 2025, serious legal stories were breaking left and right. Lawsuits, accusations, and years of controversy in the entertainment world. So when that old clip of LeBron joking around at one of those events resurfaced, it hit differently. To someone like Jordan, a man who built his empire on control, discipline, and image perfection, that kind of association didn't just look bad, it looked reckless. So when MJ reportedly said, "I knew I was right about him," fans knew it wasn't just casual shade, it was a calculated statement. Jordan has always been hyper-aware of optics, and in his mind, image is everything. That one comment reignited the feud all over again. Suddenly, fans started connecting the dots, saying LeBron moves different, less polished, less focused, too friendly with the wrong people. They started questioning whether Jordan's cold shoulder was personal or prophetic. Jordan didn't even need to elaborate. The clip and that smirk said it all. Even LeBron's most loyal defenders had to admit, when the GOAT questions your moves, it sticks. No PR statement or public denial could undo that. Because when Jordan speaks, the basketball world stops and listens, and his words carry the weight of legacy. But here's the thing. This tension between MJ and LeBron isn't just personal drama. It's woven into the DNA of the NBA. Rivalries and grudges have always fueled the league. Think back to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. That wasn't just basketball, it was a full-blown cultural war, East versus West. Boston Grit versus Hollywood Flash. Two men carrying an entire league on their backs through pure competition and ego. Magic and Bird didn't start as friends. They were enemies who pushed each other to the absolute edge. And only when the dust settled did respect turn into brotherhood. That's how rivalries work in basketball. Iron sharpens iron, but with MJ and LeBron, that fire never cooled. It's still burning, and that's why this story keeps pulling people in. It's not just about stats or championships, it's about pride, perception, and power. Because for Michael Jordan, legacy isn't shared, it's protected. And for LeBron James, every move, every word, every headline is a reminder. He's chasing a ghost that refuses to pass the torch. Then came Jordan versus Isaiah Thomas, one of the nastiest feuds in NBA history. The Pistons literally built the Jordan rules just to break him down physically and mentally. They didn't just want to stop him, they wanted to humiliate him. MJ never forgave that, not for a second. And if you've watched The Last Dance, you already know that hatred was real. The tension between those Bulls and Pistons teams was pure warfare. And yeah, that energy still lingers decades later. MJ might smile in interviews, but that grudge, it's permanent. And that's just one rivalry. Then you've got Shaq and Kobe, two unstoppable forces on the same team, winning championships while firing subliminals at each other in interviews and even in rap songs. That's when the NBA hit peak drama. They weren't just teammates. They were two alpha egos locked in a constant power struggle. That's what made it unforgettable. The mix of success, tension, and pride. Fans don't just remember the rings, they remember the rivalries. So when people say Jordan doesn't vibe with LeBron, it's not even shocking. Beef is in the league's DNA. The fans crave it, the media amplifies it, and deep down, the players know it makes their legend even bigger. NBA rivalries are no different from rap battles or Hollywood feuds, just with sneakers and cameras instead of mics and scripts. It's all about ego, respect, and legacy. Rappers throw subliminals on tracks, celebrities drop shade in interviews, and NBA stars do it with post-game quotes and highlight reels. Every cold Jordan response gets dissected online. Every time LeBron praises MJ and gets silence back, it becomes a meme. One quote, one side-eye, one headline. That's all it takes to keep the fire alive. Drama fuels legacy, legacy fuels debate, And debate keeps the NBA spinning like a non-stop soap opera. Let's be honest, if everyone actually got along, basketball would be quiet like baseball and nobody's tuning in for peace. They want chaos, tension, GOAT wars. That chaos is what turned this league into a cultural empire. And in this case, that chaos changed everything. Jordan's loyalty to Kobe over LeBron didn't stay behind the scenes. It shaped the way millions of fans see the GOAT debate today. Because in the NBA, getting a blessing from the previous king isn't just respect, it's a knighting. It seals your name into basketball history. That's what Kobe got. Jordan's mentorship, guidance, and his emotional validation. Something no magazine cover or MVP trophy could ever replace. Fans saw Kobe as the true torchbearer, not because the media said it, but because Jordan proved it. He trained with him, praised him, and when Kobe passed, MJ's tears said it all. That wasn't PR. That was family-level pain. That bond made Kobe untouchable in the GOAT conversation, leaving LeBron forever standing outside that circle, looking in. LeBron never got that blessing. And that missing piece changed the entire narrative. Every time the media tries to crown LeBron the GOAT, critics drop the same line. If he's really that guy, why didn't MJ ever embrace him? But here's the twist. LeBron's career has become so legendary, so superhuman, that he might be breaking through that shadow on sheer force alone. We're talking 20-plus years at the top, 4 championships, 10 finals appearances, the all-time scoring record, still dominating at age 40 like it's year 10. That's not normal. That's history in motion. Nobody's ever carried that kind of consistency for this long. And ironically, Jordan's silence might have done the opposite of what he wanted. Instead of ending the debate, it keeps it alive. Because every generation reopens the question. On one side, MJ loyalists dig in. If Jordan never passed the torch, it means something. On the other, LeBron fans fire back with numbers, records, and pure endurance, saying, he doesn't need Jordan's approval, he's rewriting the book. And that right there might be Jordan's ultimate nightmare. The idea that someone could take the throne without his permission. Because MJ didn't just dominate basketball, he built the entire empire around it. He defined what a global superstar looked like. The sneakers, the branding, the mentality, the myth. Every athlete since has been chasing the standard he created. But when the time came to name a true successor, Jordan drew a hard line in the sand. And it wasn't LeBron James. It was Kobe Bryant. And that's why this GOAT debate will never die. Because it was never just about basketball. It's about pride, power, and legacy. And the one thing MJ never gave LeBron? Validation. So what do you think? Does LeBron finally deserve the crown, or does MJ still hold it tight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video with your crew, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Because trust me, this story's far from over. See you on the next one.